Honourable Kerenga Kua, member for Sinesine Yongomul and also the Minister for Energy, has announced his resignation from the Marape Government.
Minister Kua has formally resigned from the Marape Government. In a detailed letter to the Prime Minister, Kua expressed concerns over the government's performance. His resignation follows a recent reshuffle in the government where the Minister for Petroleum was removed from him. Minister Kua also questions the motivation behind his removal and emphasizes the broader national interest at stake.
And to the president's left is Ivan Yaman, is the deputy president of the PNG National Party. So on all our behalf, I thank you all for coming to this press conference today. The purpose of this press conference is to announce to you the decision that I took personally in consultation with my party, all other leaders that are assembled with me, and all other people who are not present here but important stakeholders from my own district, Sinesine Yongomul, and people of Chimbu. There's been a lot of consultations. So things like this, if I was on my own, I could have made decisions some time ago. But because you are the peak of a lot of people behind and around you, when you're going to make important decisions, you have to be widely consultative so that they understand what you are doing, they accept what you are doing, and then they endorse what you are doing. And they appreciate that you're doing it for all the right reasons. Nothing personal, nothing, but everything is done for their interest, because the office we occupy belongs to the people of this country from the individual districts and the provinces that we come from. So everything we do has to be designed to fulfill that mandate. So because I'm making an important decision to resign as a Minister of State, I had to conduct the series of consultations, and that led to a few days or weeks of delay, but finally we've come to that point. So yesterday I wrote out a detailed letter in which I set out my intention to resign as Minister for Energy, because as you know, in the recent reshuffle, prior to that I was Minister for both Petroleum and Minister for Energy. But in the reshuffle, in the wisdom of the Prime Minister, he opted to remove the Ministry of Petroleum from me and left me with the Ministry of Energy alone. So yesterday I made an appointment with him, and we had an hour-long meeting. It was a very good, cordial meeting. It's not a typical type of remote meeting where people go and express their excitement or unhappiness about the decisions that a Prime Minister has made or was making. Very cordial. I gave him a very long letter. A very long letter. Normally a resignation letter is a one-page, half-a-page letter, but my letter ran into 7 or 8 pages. And at the end of this conference, I will show you. I'll give you each a copy of that letter. That letter was a report card of what I did in my capacity as Minister for Petroleum and Energy in the last 4 years, going into 5 years. I covered all the major things that we had done and we had achieved, already achieved, or were just on the verge of achieving. In the report, I also set out my recommendations. I said, Prime Minister, this is how far I brought the department, both petroleum and energy. And this is where you are supposed to connect. So I didn't just pick up and leave. The interest of the country, which each of us ministers are responsible for, requires that you do need handover, takeover, so that the next person coming in must know exactly where to pick up from. You got to explain where you have left it and where he is to pick up from for that, so that the services to all the stakeholders and citizens of this country goes ahead seamlessly, and that's very important. So we went through that process.